Oh, I got the light bright. Wow. How is it coming so bright? And I'm live. Oh, great. Hello, friends. I'm light and bright here. Okay. So I got home from the store and I have a client that's wanting me to paint some furniture for her. Okay. So I know there are tons of painters on here. And you all know that I do lots of things. I don't just paint. We do some real estate stuff. We do some wedding decorating. We do lots of vintage crafting. And we also have our store. We paint houses. Like, we have all kinds of stuff. So this is kind of an interesting page to follow. But so today, right now, I am going to get back to this gal's project of a sweet rocking chair for a little girl. Now, okay, so what happened was, let me show you this. Let me flip you over here so you can see what happened. So I used, in my lighting, I even had this all adjusted before I came on, and you come on and everything is different. Now that just really gets my goat, you guys. I had it all set. Okay, it's okay. We'll figure it out here. That makes me mad. This is why this happens. We try, you guys, as people on here. We try to make it work for you. Okay, it's not great, but I've got my light right on it. Let me adjust it. See if oh yeah, if I tone it down a little bit, that's better. Okay, see this spot happening? I'm gonna pick the chair up so you guys can really, there. Now you can really, it's really hard. There you go. Okay, what this is it's in the wood. It's the tannins in the wood. There's something Mother Nature put in the wood. Or it could be something that maybe someone's cleaned with or something, but they call it the tannins in the wood. And what happens is it bleeds through and it continues to bleed through. So this is all primed. I used Sherwin-Williams multi-purpose latex primer. So that's what that's all-purpose, multi-purpose. That should have taken care of it, right? But we still have bleed through happening all over this chair. So I wanted to test. I think I know in my mind what to use. I know what I usually go to, but I'm going to try 3 other products, okay? So just so you guys believe me, though, I'm going to put the latex on as well right in front of you guys so you can see. All right. So here is our problem. Now I have oil-based Kills. All right. So it doesn't really matter what product you get. I wouldn't go to like an Odd Lots and buy theirs. I have had a customer buy that paint, the wall paint. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even use it. It was so bad. So it may not all be like that, but my experience was not good. My personal experience, and that was probably 20 years ago, but still, a girl never forgets these things. So you stir it up really, really well. It's really thick when you first, start stirring, but then it breaks down and it stirs all up really nicely. So this is an oil-based Kills. I'll be using mineral spirits to clean it, just regular old paint thinner. Okay, so I just have a little chip brush and I just want to do a test strip right here. And I want to see if this oil-based primer makes a difference and stops the tannins from bleeding through, okay? So there is that one. Kind of made that bigger than I intended. I need to skinny that up a little bit. Okay, so then the next one I'm going to try, and it's leveling out, which means it kind of self-levels and gets rid of your brush marks as it lays. You can kind of watch it, they call it leveling. Okay, so then the next one I've got here is Bin Primer. Okay, now you'll get bleed through sometimes with latex paint, you'll get it with your primer, or you'll get it with chalk-based paints. It's a very normal thing to have happen. It does not happen all of the time. That's why typically if I'm doing furniture, I dive right in with my chalk-based paints. But this time it was kind of a dirty piece and I washed it and did all the things, but I just felt like I'd probably be better off to prime it. So I got out my latex primer because that's what I prefer to work with. It's just easier cleanup. These other things, you've got to use, like this bin that I just showed you that I just used. It smells to high heaven. We use this when we paint houses that are full of cigarette smoke. because the soot on the walls will bleed through your new paint job. So you need to seal it if it's really bad with this product right here. Excuse me. And you clean your brushes out with ammonia when you use bin. And it's very, very strong. Okay, so right now we have oil and we have bin. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to put on here is our latex that I've already primed it with. I just want to show you, in case you don't believe me or whatever, but I want to show you how it bleeds through. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little strip of that, and let's see what happens. And then the last thing I have is shellac. Now, a lot of these painters, I watch so many of you guys online, and a lot of people say to go to shellac. Now, I use shellac when I'm doing my antique pieces. Like if I have an old piece of wood and I want it to look really good, or a newer piece of wood that I want it to look a little older, shellac kind of has that yellowy sort of look to it, like that ambered out old look. So I like shellac for that, but I've had a lot of people tell me to use shellac, not tell me personally, but say online to use shellac. So I'm going to use the shellac here at the end, and there's not very much there, but I'm going to squeeze it in here, right there. And they'll say, they'll do the whole piece in shellac. So there's a little bit of pink over here, like clear over to here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all of this and see if we can't keep the pink from bleeding through. Okay, again, you clean the shellac with ammonia. I think you can use denatured alcohol or some. Read your can. They always tell you on the can what cleans what, and that's important if you want to save your brushes. I'm just using these disposable brushes, so I don't know. I just thought this would be an interesting little test. So far, I kind of feel like it's bleeding through on the bin. I feel like it's coming through. So I'm going to run my dryer, and I know these are all oil products, so it's probably not going to work with the dryer, but I'm going to try it and see what happens here. Just adding a little heat. I might have to shut it off and come back another time and show you guys, but I just thought this was a really good little experiment. And I've often thought about doing this, but never taken the time to do it. Now this over here, I didn't have anything over here, so we're not going to look at that spot right there. And I've got pink back here, I've got pink here, I've got pink on the back of the, you can't see, but I've got pink on the back of the chair. It's very light. I'm not sure how well it even shows up in your camera view. But yeah, I'm still seeing it through the bin. So, and then of course here it comes through the latex. You can see it coming. So that's definitely not going to work. I really do think the shellac is working. So that's really interesting. And then the oil. I still see it a little bit through the oil, but I feel like it's going to block it. Definitely blocking it better than these two. So to me right now, from what I can see from this experiment, the oil-based primer kills, or any oil-based primer, whoops, oh now I'm getting some bubbling. The oil-based primer or the shellac is the way to go. So yeah, I don't want to heat it up too much or I'll get bubbles here. I don't know if you guys could hear me while I was talking, but the oil-based primer or the shellac seem to be doing the best. The two on the outside. I feel like this center, the bin, it's blocking it, but I feel like I can still see through it a little bit. Did this dry down enough? The oil should still be wet. Boy, I'm anxious to put some paint on that, but you really should wait 24 hours before you paint over oil, and since it belongs to a client, I don't want to go messing with it. But I'll tell you what, I am going to go ahead and paint it over this right here, just like this. Not sure you guys, let me get it up here a little bit better. There, you can kind of see. So this is oil, this is bin, this is latex, and this is shellac. So I think what I'm gonna do is sign off of here. I'm gonna let it tack up at least a little bit. Since I dried it down, it is, I mean, I am able to rub my hands over it, but I know that oil base really needs to dry, like underneath the skin that I formed that's dry. So I think I'm gonna let it just kind of relax a little bit. I think I'm gonna go with the, I don't know which one. The shellac looks really good, except I'm painting this thing white and I don't really want to have an extra coat because I've shellacked it. So I think I'm gonna go with the oil primer, and I'm just gonna hit the spots that are bleeding. And that's how I do it. Like, a lot of people will just sand their piece down, clean it, and then go for it with the shellac or the oil-based primer or whatever. If you're using chalk-based paint, you can go straight at it. Most projects with paint. If you're not sure, send it to the store that you bought it. Send a picture of your piece, or bring your piece in, or a drawer, or send a picture to the people that are working there and get their opinion what you need to do. Send it to me. I don't care. You can message me a picture and I'll tell you my opinion. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go with the oil, and I'm gonna hit it wherever I see the bleed through. So instead of painting the entire thing with oil, because I hate working with oil, it's just sticky, it's thick, it'll gather sometimes and sink down on you, and I'm just not a fan of it. So, but it, you know, when you need it, you need it. So obviously the white primer that's latex is not killing this bleed through. So anyway, it was just a little experiment I thought I would show with you guys, and I'm probably going to just finish the oil wherever I need to, where I see pink, and then I'm gonna put it aside, and then I'll come back when I start to paint it and we'll talk about it again, okay? So I just thought I would show you this really quick. I'm gonna go bring in another piece that's gonna be completely different. I'm not exactly sure how to tackle this one, so I've been putting it off. Actually, I might have to take you guys to the garage because it's kind of heavy. It's heavier than it looks. But yeah, I have 2 more pieces to do, so I'll probably pop on and off because I want to get them at least a good go here tonight. So I know some of you guys were asking me to share this with you, so if you find it boring, just wait on something more exciting to pop up on the page. I'm sure we'll do something you'll be interested in. So thanks for watching. Bye.